I've seen a lot of change.
Namaste, yogis.
It's Goga, kinda like yoga. 2 years in the game, 78 postures later, it is clear hip openers are the big boys or girls in yoga. From sitting ones, lunges, squats, goddesses, hamstring stretchers, including the inversions. With this foundation, I'm convinced that we are ready to take a 90-day journey towards the mother of them all. They call it Hanumasana, monkey, or as most of you know it, the splits. Enjoy the ride. So day number 8. So come into a standing position, Namaste Yogis. So we're going to begin our first warm-up butt kicks for about 30 seconds. So keep running just to kick in your butt with your heels. Yeah, I was at work today, so I just decided to do this exercise, during my tea break. Yeah, so keep running, just trying to build that heat in the body. You can get rid of the shoes. I'm just being dramatic here. Keep kicking the heels for 15 more seconds to go. Keep running, inhaling and exhaling, trying to keep the upper body as straight as possible. And you're trying to kick the butt. I'm seeing that I can make a bit of circles here. Just be able to face you guys. Maybe turn and look at the other side and then gently release. Whew. The next exercise we're going to do is the hamstring stretch while seated on a chair. So you're going to now come into a comfortable sitting position, and then you want to straighten your right foot. So this is a very good posture, just be able to find an entire stretch of the hamstring, and then you're trying to grip your torso as straight as possible, and then gaze forward. You can even make circles with your wrists. You can flex your toes. Yeah, this is where you notice that you need to make any self-care treatments, especially on your nails, ladies. And then stay here, trying to keep the leg as parallel as possible to the ground, and then gently release. We switch sides. So same action on the left leg. You want to stretch that left leg while seated on a very nice upright chair. Make sure you're not leaning forward or back. And then you just want to keep this entire hamstring stretch going. Again, you can flex your toes as much as possible. Just be able to see how that feels like. So you're going to do this for about, give or take, it's about 30 seconds or 15 seconds on both sides. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, exhale, feeling that nice stretch on the entire hamstring, and then gently release. The next exercise we're going to do is the side lunges on both the right and the left. So you come into sitting, you lunge on the left side, come back to center. Lunge on the right side, come back to center for about 40 seconds. Keep lunging towards the left, come back to center, lunge towards the right. You'll feel a very nice stretch, especially on the inner hamstring. Let's just give you a back view here. You keep coming to the center and then lunge towards the opposite side. So yes, so it's working on the internal, as much as it's working on the hamstring, you can also feel a stretch, especially on the inner thighs. And then see how far you can go. Lunging towards the left, come back to center, and then release. And then find a wall, and then we're going to do some calf raises here for about 60 seconds, about a minute. So press your palms on the wall and then lift your heels off the ground and then come down. So you want to do this several times. You lift your heels and then come down. So this is a very good exercise, just to be able to stretch the calves, and it's also working on the ankles here. So you lift, you stretch, you come down. Lift up, come up, then you release, coming down. So you do this for about 1 more minute. You're halfway there, and maybe so that you can hold it even up longer, trying to get that ballerina stance, lifting up and coming down, inhaling as you come up and then exhaling as you come down, and then gently so that you can hold it even for a little bit longer as we finish our 60 seconds. And then as soon as you're done with this movement, just release, coming back slowly into standing as we prepare for the next posture. The next posture you're going to do, just find a way lying on your back. We're going to do the lying leg abduction. This is now becoming a staple. So you open your legs and then you bring them back to center. So then inhale, you open the legs, bring them back to center, flexing your toes towards your face, trying to get the legs as 90 degrees as much as possible. So you keep inhaling as you open the legs out wide, exhale as you bring them back to center. So you do this for about 30 seconds, inhaling and exhaling. And then just feel that stretch, especially on the hip flexors as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you can feel some bit of relief. Breathing in, feeling that stretch, exhale, and then gently release, coming back into standing. The next posture we are going to do a standing left leg stretch. So this is a hamstring stretch. So you're going to bend your right knee and then see that you can stretch your entire left leg, and then you come into standing. Trying to keep the back as flat as possible as you come up, and then you stretch. Inhale as you come up, exhale, stretch. And then you want to keep the stretching leg fully straight the entire time. So you want to make sure that you avoid bending that leg. So the only leg that is bending is the opposite leg. And then you can maybe freeze it and hold it for a bit, just trying to feel how that stretch is very nice. So you come down, flat back, feeling that stretch, and then release. So we switch sides. So now you take your right leg slightly forward, and then you want to bend your left knee, and then bring your palms on your right knee, and then come up, and then go down, feeling that stretch on the entire right leg. You come up into standing, straighten, exhale, bend the left knee, just to feel that stretch on the entire right hamstring. So you can keep doing this for a while, for about 30 seconds on each side, just to be able to feel that entire stretch, especially on the hamstring. And you can even give yourself a bonus round, just be able to make sure you're holding these postures for about a minute. And then maybe so that you can bring your hands down, just be able to deepen that stretch. Okay, keep the right leg stretched the entire time. We do this one last time, just be able to feel like that one last deep stretch. Then just hold it here for a bit. The more you hold, the more you experience a posture. That's how you're able to at least feel that entire stretch. Because when you work on our hamstrings, it's going to help us in this challenge. The next posture you're going to do, just come, you're going to do like a forward fold, a wide-legged forward fold, where we're going to try to reach our hands on the ground. So you can either interlace your fingers, and then you see whether you can bow forward, trying to keep a flat back as much as possible. So you can take out your feet as wide as you can. I'm going to take it easier because I'm wearing jeans today. But then the idea is just be able to feel that entire hamstring stretch as you come up and down. And then try to keep the back as parallel as possible. And then you try to make those pulses. You can bring a micro bend onto the knees if it's too much. It's perfectly fine. Less is more in yoga practice. You never want to overexert yourself. And then so that you can now press your palms down while here. Coming up, pressing your palms down. Trying to keep that flat back the entire time. And then you keep making those pulses just to be able to feel that stretch. So your entire hamstring should be totally stretched in this wide-legged forward stance. And then so that you can press your palms down and then hold it for a bit. A little bit more. You can even stay down with your hands down, holding the posture. So we were doing this for about 60 seconds. Just be able to see how far we can hold it. And then once you're done, you can gently release the posture by slowly coming up into standing. Bend one knee, come back into standing. The next pose you're going to do and the next stance you're going to do is like a forward fold. So you bring your torso halfway parallel to the ground. You come up, hands on your waist. So let me just move a bit further so that you can see me. You bow forward, come up, standing, and then exhale, you bow forward. So you want to make sure that you're looking forward the entire time. This is also a very good stretch on the spine as you're coming forward and up. You want to feel that stretch. So the hamstrings are working here, but also the spine feels this nice stretch, especially the mid back. This posture is actually very good just to be able to bring mobility into the spine. So you come up and then exhale, you come down. Inhale, coming up because you're stretching and opening. Exhale, you bow forward, feeling that stretch on the spine, trying to create a flat back as much as possible. So we do this for about, 60 seconds. So you can keep going up and down. We are halfway through the time, so 30 more seconds to go, less than half a minute. I can give you a side view here so that you're able to see what's going on. And then come up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, rising up nicely. Just be able to feel that stretch. Keep doing this a few more times. And then you come up. Inhale, coming down. Maybe come up and then release. The next what you're going to do is a downward facing dog, creating an inverted view with your body. We've talked about the dogs of yoga in the first season of this channel. So bring your feet hip width distance and then spread your fingers a lot on the ground, trying to create an inverted view with your body. And then you want to melt your chest towards your thighs, keep sinking your heels towards the ground. If this is too much, you can always bring a micro bend onto the knees, shift your bum towards the roof or the sky above you, and then so that you can straighten. Ideally, you're just trying to create that nice inverted V. These are very good hamstring stretch. It's also a very good posture just to be able to build arm strength because of the the contact with the ground, and then you're also stretching the spine nicely, and then you also engage in the core here. So you want to keep melting the chest a little bit down towards the thighs, and then you're going to hold this for about 60 seconds rather. Hold it for about a minute, and then see what that feels like. And then maybe so that you can lift your right leg up and take a three-legged dog or the downward scorpion, release, and then maybe lift the left leg, open, and then release. This is setting a stage for us in exploring the next posture. So I'm going now to bring my left leg between my hands, drop your right knee down, coming into a lunge or the horse rider posture, and then bring your hands on your left knee, and then you want to melt your hips down, feeling that nice hip stretch. So it's stretching the right quad at the back, and you can feel like a very nice hamstring and quad stretch, especially on the left. And then keep melting and making pulses here with your hips. Just stay here for about 60 seconds on this side and see what that feels like. This is going to now give us that nice foundation before we move to the next routine in this sequence. So keep bouncing, and then from here, so that you can drop your hands down, and then very slowly, so that you can wiggle your left foot slightly forward. So you're wiggling your left foot slightly forward, bringing the heel in contact with the ground until that left hamstring is fully straight, coming into half Hanuman or the half splits. And then stay here, maybe press your right hand down, lift your left hand up, and then feel that nice entire juicy stretch on the entire left hamstring. Half split. This is how we get into half split. And then maybe release and take downward facing dog. What you do on the right, you do on the left. So you can bend one knee at a time, and then bring your right leg between your hands, and then prepare. And then you want to come into horse rider. So bring your hands either down on the ground or bring them onto your knee, and then start sinking your pelvis down towards the mat. And then you want to ensure that the knee is on top of the ankles to protect you from any injury. So keep making these pulses. As you make these pulses, you'll feel a very nice stretch, especially on the groin, and now on the left quad, and especially the right quad as well, as you keep melting. Just trying to get that hip mobility here, inhaling and exhaling. So you hold it for 60 seconds, and maybe see whether you can even wiggle the back foot, and then bring your hands down and then start wiggling your right leg until it's fully straight, balancing on the heel. Our toes are pointing up towards your face, and then press your hands down, coming into half split, and then see whether you can press your left hand down, lift your right hand up, and just feel that entire stretch on your right hamstring. So stay here for a bit, and then when you're ready, bring your hands down, and then downward facing dog, release, and then gently we're going now to take the pyramid pose. So shorten the distance between your legs. So you can either keep this stance, so make sure that there's a big area between your legs, or maybe shorten the stance to about less than 2 meters or so. And then your legs are literally creating a pyramid shape, and then maybe support your hands on your left knee, and then just stay here for a bit, feeling that entire hamstring stretch on the left. If you want more challenge, so that you can bring your hands down and then drop your head down, so that you can kiss your knee as you bow forward. So these are very good posture, just be able to stretch the entire legs, and it's also just trying to bring strength into the legs. And you'll notice after some time you can feel some improvement. Release and then switch sides. So for 40 seconds we do that on the same side, coming onto pyramid pose on the right side. So now you bring your hands on your right knee, and then your legs are creating that nice pyramid shape. So you want to make sure that the feet are not on the same line. They're creating that definitely separate. So if you're using a mat, use both sides of the mat. And then so that you can bring your hands down and then bow forward, inhaling and exhaling, feeling that nice gentle stretch on the entire right hamstring. Inhale, exhale. And then I'm just going to so that I can grab my back foot as I drop my head down, just be able to deepen this stretch. That's also another modification of this posture. I love this one. It's normally very good, and it also gives me that nice rounding of the back. Or otherwise, you can even create a flat back. It's perfectly fine. Less is more, less is more, less is more. One last deep breath in, exhale, hands to your heart center. Namaste. I will see you on day 9. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.